before we hit record is always the one that
we
makes
hit the go live button.
Yeah.
The test stuff. Okay.
Yes, the testing show is always there's a test to it, all right.
Right. We could sell this for millions.
Scott, you look freezing, by the way. Do you have
I'm cold.
Do you have a jacket on top of a jacket? Like
No, so I always wear like an undershirt and there's a polo and then I got like a golf like pullover.
Got it.
I just got done walking on the treadmill and taking a shower, so this is actually like the least cold I felt all day. And I shaved too.
Look at you shaving for us.
Yeah, basically. Well, I was looking kind of beastie and I was thinking like, man, if I'm on some meetings tomorrow with my boss or whatever, I probably should shave. Like
you like that. Have you seen that Progressive commercial where that guy's like, sorry, I look like a wanted poster.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a beard though, and he's like talking about his beard like it takes oil or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. See, Brian, when he attempts to not shave, he will just not shave his chin, which I don't understand because like you look dumb. Like he doesn't look good with whatever chin beard thing he's trying, and he keeps trying it. They're like, please stop. Please stop.
Emily gives me crap if I try to grow something out, which is really weird. And it's not like I have to please her or anything.
Yeah, we will shave every day. That's just
Mike. So Scotty Boy, you know Scott, like Scott Korf, who does that other podcast, the stuff we love or whatever. Yeah. So he was telling me, I recorded with him like a while ago, and he was telling me that we're on the phone, and he was like, he always asks like what streaming services I use, and he's like, do you not use Pluto? I'm like, no, I'm not familiar with Pluto at all. He's like, well, I know your boy Mike uses it because he talks about it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so it actually kind of is like some cool stuff on there. Like I've been watching it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, considering it's all free. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I watch
so many ads though. There's so many ads.
There's like only 5 ads. It's so.
But there's like the American Gladiators channel. Like,
yeah,
watching that. Yeah,
I watch that for. I've watched
wait. Let's go back. Is it the classic American Gladiators?
Yes, like filmed in like Orlando, like at Universal. Yeah.
Oh, it's Hollywood. It's filmed at Universal.
Hollywood. That's right. Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's right.
The ones with my girl Ice back in the day.
Yeah.
All those people.
Like
Thunder,
Gemini was my favorite, man. I love Gemini.
Yeah. There's a whole channel. It's just 24/7.
Mike, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day, they actually came to. I don't remember which like arena it was, but they totally came to like St. Louis, and I was totally there at one. My mom and dad took me, and it was so much fun. Oh my god, I had a sign for Ice because she was like my favorite. Like, yeah.
Ice baby. No,
I think that's what my sign said. Actually, not gonna lie. Yeah.
I used to watch it when I got home from the skating rink on Friday night because it was on like late on Friday.
Yeah, it was on like at like 11 o'clock, which sadly enough I was watching at 11 o'clock at night.
It's so bad watching it now. Like those interviews they do.
They are. It's terrible. I used to think it was the best, and you're right.
I did too.
So dated.
And then you watch some of the events, and it's like, man, I feel like I could have done better than some of the actual gladiators.
Right? Exactly.
I want to run the Eliminator, and I want to shoot that thing where you get behind.
Yes.
I want to be the tennis ball. But
the tennis ball. Dude, that sucker must.
I used to play that in the house with my brother. We would set up our own course. You know, like I would hide behind the couch, then I had the quick somersault to get behind the chair.
That's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, that where you run up the belt too, like at the very first part, like you got to run up that.
Yes.
Eliminator.
So
the
hard.
Eliminator is so hard. Yeah. Yes.
But that's why I watch Love Boat. There's a Love Boat.
Yeah, but like. There's this guy named Thunder. He's like this long blonde hair dude. That is the least talented like gladiator I've ever seen in my life. Like I would smoke him in any event.
Shout out to Mallory upstairs.
What's up, Mallory? Way to sneak in on your mom's account there.
Yeah, she looks like Pam.
Yeah.
Does look like Pam? I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pam in over a year.
She's upstairs writing lessons as always. They're going back in a couple weeks, so she's got it's a mess. Hybrid stuff. Oh.
Maybe we should meet somewhere for like Memorial Day weekend or something.
We have to, yes, somewhere like in the middle.
Yeah,
and also I think I'm going to Silver Dollar. I've decided I'm going to Silver Dollar City this year. I've never been there, but like they've got me with their Instagram ads.
What? Silver Dollar City is pretty awesome, actually. I haven't been in probably 10, 15 years at this point because no, it's definitely been at least 15 years, but. Dude, when we went, it was so much fun. Oh my gosh. Although I didn't ride roller coasters at the time, so like I definitely like missed out on some of the best attractions.
Matt Paris keeps telling me to go, and he keeps saying it's like Disneyland back in the day. Like it's like how Disneyland started.
Yeah,
Disney owned and stuff.
It is. Well, it's owned by who owns it now?
Cedar Fair, probably because they own
everything. It's Cedar. I don't think it's Dolly Parton stuff. So I
think it actually is Dolly Parton.
That's why I was like, I don't know if it's Dolly Parton or if it's Cedar Fair. I know it's one of the two. So, ooh, lightning just happened outside my window.
Dude, during the lightning here, it's too cold. Lightning's like, no. Okay, so everybody.
Let's get started before you lose power.
Yeah, because we might get a rolling blackout. So if all of a sudden we go. That's what happens. So we're going to get started. Hope everybody's staying warm. Yes, I have on a long sleeve Run Disney shirt, a jacket, and then a hockey sweater on top and I'm still not warm. It is freezing. And I'm sitting by a window. Even though it looks like I'm sitting behind a Spaceship Earth, I'm actually sitting behind a drafty window or by a drafty window in Missouri. Okay, let's get the first question.
I'm sitting by a window too.
I am too.
But not today. Okay. Oh, Tim Rogers had Thunder Snow. Jim Cantori would approve. Okay, here we go.
One of the listener questions should be, where should Scott, Elizabeth, and Emily have dinner tonight?
Yeah. and will Mike make it to Taco Bell with the 6 inches?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
They've all closed here. Like both grocery stores, Deerbergs and Schnucks closed. Like, so will Taco Bell be open if Mike makes it there?
Mike's gonna get to Taco Bell. He's not gonna have any food.
I'll be starving. I'll find there's something, I'm sure, in the fridge. Okay, so we need questions in the chat, guys. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat so we can have a few to go with. That would be awesome. Anything with news and stuff like that would be great. Okay, questions in the chat, please.
He's like, questions in the chat, please. Like a teacher.
I mean, we could just talk about like sports.
I haven't gotten it. Yeah, we'll just be talking about how cold and miserable we are for 30 minutes.
I felt like that was like a real teacher moment right there, though. Questions in the chat, please.
Yes, please step up. Just don't hang out and do nothing. Be a part of the show here. Actively participate.
Yes.
And we don't need the Space 220. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
That doesn't help. Okay, here we go. 1851.
Tim just wants to know so he can put the menu up for the mouse for less. So
okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1851 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. And I hope that, most of you, now here's the deal. I know it's going to happen. As soon as I say this, everybody from Florida that listens to the show is going to send me pictures of, hanging out at the pool. Joanne will be sending me a pool. She'll have like a wine glass and flip-flops and, sitting by the pool. So that I know how that's going to go. But for the rest of us, for the other 90% of our listeners that are in the States, I hope you're staying warm and digging out of this snow because it is seriously cold. And I mean, I saw snow this week that was on the beach down by Houston, by Galveston. I mean, it snowed all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. So this is no joke. So you know what? We are here to give you an escape. We're going to talk about the warm places and the stuff we love to do when it's normal temperature. I mean, nothing's normal, right? We've learned that. I mean, it's nuts right now. So we're going to have a good time talking about Disney, answering some questions, discussing some fun stuff. And I hope you enjoyed Monday's show as well, because Yacht Club sounds really good right about now. But let's get into it. Joining us from themouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, how bad is it in northern Georgia?
All right. Y'all don't actually really want to know the answer to that. Because like, while it's cold here and, I know I shouldn't complain, there's no snow. It's just thundering and lightning here. Actually, right now it's raining. So I know, and it's cold, like it's in the 40s, but like, I mean, for the rest of the country, that's like, they want to slap me because I'm complaining about 40-degree weather and rain. So, I'm sorry. I am kind of lucky in the regard of like, we didn't get hit with snow, because trust me, Atlanta would not have been able to handle it. So I'm very happy that we didn't get hit with snow, but, I mean, I still don't like it. It's still cold outside and I'm not happy about it. It's just not as cold as it is everywhere else. So I will add you to my prayer list tonight that you guys will survive the 40s down in Georgia. I'm surviving the 40s. Definitely add me to that prayer list. And I'm surviving the lightning and thunder outside. So, yeah.
All righty. Well, Pam is not here this week. So we have our pinch hitter here. We have hashtag Scotty G, Scott Gardner from Up in the Mitten, and check him out on Instagram at Palm Trees of Disney. What's going on, Scotty?
Hey, how we're surviving. We're not surviving the 40s. We're surviving with 40s because it's so cold here in Michigan. very similar weather that you're seeing, Mike. I mean, we're not getting like the crazy like below temps and craziness like that, but our weather usually is what you have the next day. So I'm buckling down for some really cold temps.
That's right. We preview you. We give you a preview of how miserable it's going to be. So that's wonderful. All right. So let us jump into the questions. Before we do that, actually, I want to ask both of you this just real quick, because I'm curious, because I think this is going to be one of those things that either you love it or you hate it. Ricky, I'm going to ask both of you and Scott. What do you think of the Leave a Legacy, the colorful Leave a Legacy monuments that have returned? They're very tall. I mean, I think they're made for like Mike Roman size people. Like, I'll be able to see the top. It'll be a rumor for you if the people you want to see.
Wait, there are people up there? Look, all I want to know is where is my husband, Justin Timberlake? And that's all I care about. Which they have found. I know people have found him. So, that's good. I just don't know where he is on the actual, I hope he's not too high is basically what I'm saying. I'm hoping I can see him. As for my actual thoughts, look, okay. I know that a lot of people worked very hard on the Leave a Legacy thing. I know that they had to bring it back because of contracts and stuff like that. I think they made it worse.
Here's the thing. I think it's okay. I mean, they had to bring it back. It's not as invasive. Like, it's not as right in your face. I mean, kind of catch you, but it's not like right there dead in front of Spaceship Earth. And you know what? Like, it's bright and colorful, and I'm all about that. Like, it's a theme park, right? I mean, you're on vacation. Things need to be colorful, bright, fun. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with people saying like it doesn't look like Grim Tombstones anymore, and you are correct. It does not look like Grim Tombstones anymore. So that's a good thing. I wish they didn't have to bring them back to begin with. I know people really like them. Obviously, if you have one, I completely understand why you would want it to still be there. But I don't know. There's really no good way to display these, I don't think, at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. They look good in the sense of like, I feel like they made them much sharper, the actual like sketches of the people or their quotes or whatever. Like, they were looking real rough by the end of it. Cause I did look for Justin before, the whole, I knew, cause they knew they were coming down. So like, I did go look for him again at that point, and they definitely looked a little rough before they left. But they look better now as far as like the sketching. So they're darker.
Yeah, got involved. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better. So what do you think, Sky? When you saw them, what were your thoughts?
Well, as with most things, Mike, I want to experience it myself. Like, just looking at some photos on Instagram, isn't really going to like really tell the whole story for me. I don't even know where they're even located, to be honest. So I think it's just something I need to experience and see myself. I do like the colors though. Like, I'm a colorful person, so like that kind of makes me happy seeing all those bright colors. So I think I really can't make a full opinion before I fully see them. Like, and I know the same thing for YouTube as well. Until
of course.
Your opinion might change once you see them. But I'm leaning towards like I'm okay with it. I'll give it a thumbs up for now.
That's right. We all want to leave our legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've got on that, so I have my fake brick under the TV in the living room. I never got one of those because that was before my time. But God, I wish I would have had one. I want to leave. Like, I'm serious. There is something about the human spirit. Like, you want to leave a piece of yourself at Walt Disney World. I mean, like, I don't know if I want people spreading my ashes in the Haunted Mansion. I mean, that's like that. I've given enough of myself to Disney at this point. I don't know if I want to leave myself in an interaction. I'm just saying. But I mean, I wouldn't mind a brick.
So my grandma got me a brick for the Lansing Lugnuts. I know we talked about the Lugnuts before, Mike. When the stadium opened in 1995. So I would have been like 12, 13 years old. And for my birthday, my grandma got me a stinking brick. And I was so mad. Like, what is this? This is like a stupid birthday present. And like, then years later, I was like, you know what? It's kind of cool. Like, I'm like a piece of the stadium now.
You were 12 at the time. Like,
exactly. So like, I thought it was the worst gift ever, but in the long run, it was actually pretty darn cool.
In the grand scheme of things, it was really cool. Yeah, I get that.
It is. And by the way, Lansing Lugnuts are a great follow on Twitter. By the way,
they are.
Their social media is spot on for minor league, very low minor league baseball. Okay, here we go. We're going to get a question from Krista. She's in Bar Harbor, Maine. She says, hello, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and hashtag Scotty G. No doubt. It's right there in the email.
We've added Scotty G to the
I love that.
There. Yeah.
I'll be at Disney's Hollywood Studios at the end of March for one day only. Like a band. I'm studying and practicing all the Ride of the Resistance boarding group tips, and we'll have my teenage daughter assisting. So fingers crossed she can get us a boarding group. It's always good to enlist a teenage girl, like when it comes to using a smartphone. Good tip. If we get a boarding group, BGs, this corrects me. Okay, if I get a BG or boarding group, what is the deal with Rise the Resistance and motion sickness issues? I absolutely cannot ride simulator style rides like Star Tours, and I can't watch 3D movies. I can ride Soarin' with no problem. And most roller coasters are fine because they're actually moving as opposed to simulated movement. I've never ridden Flight of Passage because it sounds vomit inducing. So what are your thoughts on this? Rise, yay or nay for motion sickness? I've not watched any YouTube videos because I don't want to spoil it, but I will if that's your recommendation. Thanks for your time, Krista. Now, we don't want to spoil anything, okay? So tread lightly. All right, so Scott, what do you say? Because I have an opinion. I mean, because I can't do Star Tours either. I don't do Flight of Passage unless every once in a while.
Yeah, you're actually going to be my example, Mike. So because you've done, I've been in the Millennium Falcon with you piloting, and then you couldn't do anything for the next 48 hours, basically after that.
Yeah, I was
but I've ridden Rise of the Resistance with you, and you're able to hop on Slinky Dog right afterwards. I think it's a little less tame than like Star Tours and Flight of Passage. I definitely agree. Don't spoil yourself. Don't go out there and watch the videos. I want you to really enjoy it the first time with the full experience, and I think you'll do just fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I tend to agree. It's more in the vein of a roller coaster just because it is moving almost the whole time. There is one section that's a little bit more motion simulated than the others. Otherwise, that little section maybe lasts 30 seconds.
I was going to say like 20 seconds maybe. It's not very long.
30 at the most, probably 20. Yeah. Probably.
So, other than that, the whole attraction you're moving through. So in that regard, I think you'll be okay. If you can handle, I mean, let's put it this way. If you can go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it's the same kind of system that basically takes you through. So if you can go on that, you should also be able to handle, Rise of the Resistance, I feel like.
All right, let's get to the next question here in the live chat. It's from Ashley in the live chat. Now the Star Wars marathons are no more, and we don't know that for sure. It's speculated. They said they're going to retheme, but I mean, what if they retheme to a different Star? What if it's the Mandalorian weekend, and we're all chasing Grogu, or that ain't going to happen. But I'm just saying, what would your dream marathon theme be? So I have an opinion. I would love to have a marathon weekend celebrating the attractions of Disney. Ooh. I don't know, like one race is the Carousel of Progress, and it's all about, the scenes and that kind of stuff. I know they're probably not going to do that because that is like hitting a very, very niche kind of thing. But she asked, and that's what I would say. If Disney asked me, let's do a themes of Walt Disney World kind of thing.
I kind of like that because Disneyland kind of did that in a way, Mike. So it was like it was their old Labor Day weekend race. It was the Disneyland half marathon. And like the medal would be like the D logo, the Disney logo, which I thought was kind of cool. And then they would have like other things in there, like Dumbo or whatever. Like there was like a Dumbo Double Dare challenge or whatever. But that would be cool to have like a Walt Disney World like logo medal, and they could like kind of change it every year, right?
Right. And you know what? I have that medal, that D Disneyland medal. You know how I got it? Because I've never been to
You stole it from someone?
No. Actually, one of our listeners is a plaid at Disneyland, and she saw one of those medals sitting in the break room that was just like up for grabs, like just sitting around.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Honest, I take this stuff seriously. It's not hanging on my wall. I will not hang it because I did not run that race and earn that medal. Yeah. But I kept it. I didn't throw it away. That thing's sweet.
It is sweet. I do own one. I do own one of those.
I do have a backup. It's very cool to look at, but it is not hanging on the wall. Ricky, if you were going to do, go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just going to say, like, what I really like to see is the villains, and it looks like Wine and Dine is trying to go that way with the last race that got canceled for Wine and Dine. It was going to be villains themed, but I would love if Disneyland never does races again, which who knows? That's way up in the air. I would love them to bring Marvel over to World. I loved the Marvel themed races over at Disneyland. They had this Infinity Gauntlet, which they never got to finish the series because you need to get all the stones, and they only had like 3 years worth of that race. So we have like a lot of incomplete Infinity Gauntlets. I would love for them to bring that to World so that we can finish the series.
You say stones, and it reminds me of the one time I had kidney stones.
Oh my gosh. No, don't think about that.
I do not want to complete the stones ever again. That was the day that I did, on the way to the emergency room, I did tell my wife to run a senior citizen over that was taking too long across Graham Road.
That's funny.
It was on Graham Road right in front of St. Mark's Church. Like nobody is ever. There was a senior crossing that light. I've never seen red in my entire life. I'm like, run that person over. They're old. They've lived their life. I'm going to die in the next 5 minutes. Get me to the ER. I need drugs.
That's awesome. So Joe in the chat actually has a great comment, a good friend of ours. He talks about returning Tower of Terror. Like, I don't even care what the race weekend is. Just bring a night race back to Walt Disney World. I would love to see that again.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Ricky, give your theme real quick. What'd you go with?
So I actually would like to see Pixar. I think that would be a really, there's so many great Pixar stories and they could go with. I feel like Pixar would be a good choice for that. So Pixar's my option.
Buzz and Woody. There you go. We've done it. All right. Doug in our live chat says, planning on a trip in April of 2022 with the craziness that changes from week to week. How far ahead should we buy our park tickets? We are DVC, so we will be booking the hotel in May of this year. So the thing is, that is looking so far in the future, right? We're looking into 2022. Right now, it's February of 21. God help us. I'm hoping that by May of 2022, the theme park reservation system may be gone. But who knows? Disney might like this because they know exactly who's going to be where, and this might be something that stays no matter what. It's totally something that once it's in, it could stay. And this is kind of a thing that you got to deal with from now moving forward. We don't know. So the only reason you need tickets, there's a couple of reasons to get them early. One is the prices are never going to go down. So you're going to lock into the lowest price when you buy them then. But also, again, theme park reservations, and I can't really say anything, but you are going to, you want to make those reservations as soon as you can. So
yeah.
That's pretty much it. There's really not a perfect time. I just watch, but for example, people that are booking spring break trips right now, it's getting a little bit tough to get into Hollywood Studios for April, some dates. So you got to be careful. It's 2 months out, 60 days out. So Scott,
I just say buy now if you can, if the funds are there, right? Maybe you need to wait on some other things to happen, but if you can do it now, I say there's no worry in buying them now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get this one for Ricky, because you have the one tip that we've talked about for years on this one.
Uh-oh.
Bethany asks, best tips or tricks for a rainy day at the parks, especially the Magic Kingdom. What happens when it gets rainy, Ricky? What do you do?
I just go, man. I'm telling you, I have a good time in the parks. Usually what I will do is I will bring my umbrella. I'm not a poncho girl, although Disney is selling these really great rain jackets right now. And I did buy one of those and I love it. So I would say grab a rain jacket and grab an umbrella and put on some shoes that you don't mind splashing around in, because trust me, your feet are going to get soaked. So don't wear tennis shoes with socks. That's my biggest tip there. Make sure you have some sort of comfortable flip-flop that, can get wet, that won't rub your feet when they are wet, and just go and have a good time. The parks are not dead when it rains, but there will be, definitely more dead than it would be on a non-rainy day. Now, the good thing about rain in the parks is that usually it'll rain for a brief period of time and then stop. It's very rare when it rains all day at Walt Disney World. Now, I've been there when it's done it, but it's again rare. So the only thing that will be impacted are a few of the outdoor attractions. But even then, most of them will run in the rain. I rode Slinky Dog in the pouring rain and got drenched. Soaked to the bone. So they will run the attractions in the middle of the rain. Just know that they won't do it if it's lightning or thundering. So that's pretty much it. Go ahead.
I think your best thing is you just have to buy in, right? You're just going to go, you got to know you're going to get soaked, and it's just going to embrace it. You just can't go and be like, oh man, I'm going to be miserable if I get wet. If you're going to have that kind of mindset, don't do it, because you're not going to have fun. You're going to be soaked. Your feet are going to prune up. Your hands are going to prune up. But if you just embrace it and say, you know what, man, nobody's here, I'm having a blast. I will say I did make I made a huge mistake once. I rode Test Track, and I mean a downpour. And I'm not kidding. It hurt. I mean, it was like, I was like, dude, this is not fun. Like, what am I doing? You know, you popped out, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. You know, it was crazy. So yeah, I mean, don't do Test Track in a downpour. But Scott, anything else for rain?
I was just talking about Magic Kingdom, so I would just say do what I do, and I just ride Country Bear Jamboree over and over and over again while I wait for the rain to go away. Or try to like book your lunch around that time. Go to a counter service if it's not a place where you can get an ADR. Like I remember we waited out a rainstorm at Pinocchio's Village House. It's the only time I've ever been in there. But I had just happened to be walking right by when the skies open in a downpour, and we just sat upstairs and waved at people right in Small World for like the next hour and a half. It was glorious.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely, like, the three of us and, like, you know, different variations of our group that we travel together. I mean, we've ridden out a lot of rainstorms, like just hanging out, just getting food at Cosmic Rays, or, you know, or what have you. We go to a nearby resort and just hang out in the lounge. You know, it's fun. But I mean, if you're at the Magic Kingdom and you want to ride rides, go for it. Just go.
I mean, still go for it if you want to, but I like to stay dry. So that's when I make a mulligan or a curveball and just try to schedule my dining a little bit differently when that happens.
But once you get soaked, I mean, you're not going to get soaked any further, right? Once you're soaked, at that point, embrace it. Because
Mike, you and I were in the biggest downpour ever at Hollywood Studios. You were walking around with a peanut butter and jelly milkshake looking for me. And we walked right by each other and we didn't even know it. That's like the visibility was zero.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of the hardest rains. That was one of the hardest rains I've ever been in. I remember that day. I got caught at backlot and I wouldn't leave. I was like, I'm not going, because you were over at
outside Tower of Terror with the girls.
Yeah, or weren't we at Launch Bay? I thought you were at Launch Bay. We had to go
I don't know.
To Launch Bay. I know that. And I'm like, dude, Launch Bay is 8 miles from here. I'm not good leaving the cover.
That was a different Hollywood Studio rainstorm.
That's what the girls had. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Jessica's asking predictions for Ratatouille ride opening. Okay, I'm gonna go with, God, who knows? I've already missed mine like 7 times. I'm going with around Easter.
Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
Gosh.
So you're a little bit later. What do you think, Ricky?
Oh, I think it will be when they can have more capacity. I think
it'll be whenever Flower and Garden ends. That might not. That may be like after Memorial Day weekend.
Isn't ending until July 5th this year.
Okay, well there we go. July 5th.
You know, I really think you're on the right track, Scott, with Memorial Day. I think they're going to hold off till Memorial Day, to be perfectly honest, and have it open for the summer. I think spring break, while I would love it to happen at spring break, I don't know that we're there yet as far as capacity issues. So, I think that they'll have a better way of doing it in the summer. So I'm going with summer, although I hope I'm wrong, and I'm hoping it's spring break.
Sounds good. All right, we got some feedback on the Magic Kingdom in the rain. Ashley says umbrellas greater than ponchos. That's kind of your philosophy, Ricky.
Yes.
She says rock the Crocs. Rhonda Lee says up in Nova Scotia, puddle jumping at the Magic Kingdom is amazing. There you go. And Bethany says, I bought some Teva, like sandals or Tevas.
Yeah.
And our plan is to just go with it. And Joe says, if you're in Epcot, just hang out in the land.
I have done that. I've spent the entire afternoon all in the land. Yes.
And let's see. Ashley says Big Thunder in the rain. Not a great idea either. So there you go. Oh, and Betsy says some of the best times are being soaked and laughing about it while walking through the puddles.
Yep.
So there you go.
Exactly. Once you're soaked and it's already happened, and then it doesn't even matter anymore. And then it becomes like a really funny memory.
It doesn't.
Yeah. You guys like getting wet, apparently. All right. Let's see here. From Ashley. Do you think they're going to extend the hours for Easter weekend? It looks like a busy President's Day weekend. Any tips for traveling with a 1-year-old? Did they not just extend the hours for March recently, Ricky?
Yes.
Were you looking at the calendar? I think they did.
They did. So, April, if they haven't extended it yet, they should be doing that too soon, I would assume. So it's just being, like they said, they're doing things on a month by month basis. They're being very cautious about what they're doing. So I know that can be frustrating for people, especially when they see like the park hours. Oh no, this park closes at 7:00. That stinks. Yeah, of course it does. But Disney is being very calculated in what they're doing. So they're giving you the earliest possible close time that they are expecting that they will have. And then they will extend from there. So they may not extend every single park, but they will extend a good number of them a lot of times at that point. So they're usually taking a look at it about 2 months or so in the future. So that about that 60-day mark is about, when they're starting to look at it. So, but they only do it month by month. So they may not do it at the beginning of the month. They may do it in the middle of the month or whatever, but they, you may need to have some patience, but they will probably extend them for that spring break time period. So.
Agreed. I'd look in March to see what they're going to do. Yeah. Probably see that. Okay. Scott, tips for taking a 1-year-old. What did you learn with Emily? Like what helped?
So we didn't take Emily until she was 3.5 or so, but my tip would be like, so different now. Cause I always tell people like, take the newborns, take the 1-year-old, take the photos, like I would love so it'd be different now with characters. Like you can't get that photo with the character, unfortunately, with the circumstances we're under, but like take a photo by like a sign or something that you think will be there a long time. And then you can like see the growth chart. Like we did that with Emily with Soren, like the old Soren sign that used to be in front. She was like on her first photo, like her arms were wide open. Then a year later we took a photo and you could just see like how she could grow through the years. And I think that's a really cute idea if you're going to be going there quite often.
Yeah, my best tip would be that we took Mallory for the first time at 6 months old, and we took her, every year after, at least once. And we invested, and I couldn't believe, because I had a heart attack about this when it happened. We bought a McLaren stroller, which was this English brand. It was expensive. It was an umbrella stroller, so it wasn't big. It was super light. It folded up like super small. Had a little plastic cover for when it rains, like she'd be totally dry. It had like this little clear cover thing, and it reclined all the way back so she could sleep in it. But it was still an umbrella style. So, and that thing rolled great. And I mean, we used that thing forever. So we bought it, and I balked about it. I think it was like $200 or more. Like it, Babies R Us or something at the time. Like, God, I could buy one at Walmart for like $17. Like, this is ridiculous. But the thing is, like, we used it for so long, and not only for Disney, but I mean, if you're there for a week at Disney, God, just having a stroller that rolls smooth and is, the kid can sleep in and stay dry. Like it's $200 is worth for one trip. And we use
umbrella stroller all the way. We did the same thing, even that like being 3 years old. Because Emily was in a stroller for a little while, And I never had the giant strollers. Like the umbrellas were just perfect for us.
Right. Actually, we got it because we registered for it right when we were pregnant, and I registered for the Jeep brand stroller, and this thing was huge, man. It had like big old tires and stuff, and it was gigantic. We never used that thing. We had the back of our Trailblazer. It was too hard. Like
it's too hard. I chuckle to myself when I see like parents trying to like fold this huge stroller before they get on a bus. It's like, and I just think like, oh man, they should have went with the umbrella stroller.
And I will tell you, if people are saying the McLaren stroller is awesome in the live chat, I did so much research on that umbrella stroller back in the day. I mean, because Mallory's 13 now, but I seriously, I had never researched anything harder than I'm like, what have I turned into? I researched so hard, like the perfect umbrella stroller for your Walt Disney World vacation. I still remember that. All right, real quick, we've got tons of questions. Diane's asking, does the Skyliner shut down for weather reasons, lightning or wind? Yes, it does, especially wind. Because they don't want you.
Yeah.
But I think it does shut down for lightning too. Right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it would have to. Yeah.
So I would just say keep that in mind though when you're going to a park, because there's been many times where we've left the studios and had to take a bus back because we took the Skyliner in, and so we don't have a car or any type of other transportation. So just kind of always have that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, poor thing. It's spoiled, man. I'm telling you. Okay. Let's see. Joe says, what Disney pandemic policies do you want to see continue? Let's just get, because I'm trying to rip through some of these questions. We have so many, but I would say social distancing is never a bad thing. I mean, maybe it's not so mandatory, but if we could just all kind of give each other a little bit more space coming out of this, like not being required to, but if we just get out of everybody else's bubble, I think that'd be a good thing.
I'm not against that because, I'm not super thrilled when the, family behind me steps on me or runs into me all the time. So, social distancing has definitely made that not happen anymore, which is very nice. So, of course, I'm going to go with the cavalcades, the character cavalcades. I love them. I adore them. I think that they are a great idea and they need to continue for all time. So character cavalcades is mine. Sorry, Scott, you're stuck.
You both took mine.
I knew that.
But I'm just going to throw in a random one. Like I like the checking in for your table service meal on your phone. You used to have to go up to the podium. Now you can just check in. You can actually sometimes add an extra party member on there, which is nice too. If you couldn't get that group for 5 when instead you got it for 4. I hope that stays around too.
That's actually
it's not even why when you get there, like, oh man, I'm at 5. What? This is supposed to say 5.
It's hard to pull the Testa to get like a 4 to 15.
Exactly. But yeah, it works. Yeah.
All right, Liana's got a question. If I'm planning to book for February 2022, am I still only able to book a resort that is currently open? Is it better to book at one that's open now and switch when the one I want opens? I love Riverside, but I'm considering Animal Kingdom Lodge, but neither are open, and I'm not a DVC member. Hope this makes sense. Okay, so as it stands at the time we're recording, and things could change by the time this podcast is released, right now, you can only book at the open resorts or the ones that will be open. They've announced openings. Like, for example, Wilderness Lodge is not open right now. However, we can book Wilderness Lodge because it opens this summer. So yeah, that's the strategy, is book somewhere where you're comfortable. I mean, even though it's not your first choice, book something that you wouldn't mind staying there. And then if and when your hotel opens up, and by 2022, let's just hope they're all back open, getting back to that, then we can easily move you over based on availability. Not a problem at all. But I've had to do that for the last year for guests, right? Some folks have moved from, for example, Pop Century, because it was always open, to movies when it opened, because they just wanted to be at movies. Or, Wilderness Lodge this summer, it opened back up. Or Beach Club kind of opened a little late, so people moved over there. So yeah, that's the strategy. Book something that you like now, and then just keep your eyes open. All right, April's got a question. Mike just helped me book our first Disney trip with kids, and we are so excited to be going in November. Any good stroller rental companies that you recommend? Our twins are going to be 3, and I think they will still need a stroller. Would rather not fly with ours. Okay, first of all, I say buy them. I mean, you're going to have it, but I've never used a stroller rental company. Scott, did you ever? Because I bought it.
It's funny. We were just talking about this. Like, it was always that umbrella and stroller, and we used it for years. And that's what I would recommend. But I mean, I've heard of other stroller rentals, and Ricky might know this because she does a lot of those kind of random updates for the site. But I really don't know of any.
Yeah, I mean, if you Google it, you're going to see probably 10 different companies.
True.
In the world, I would imagine it's almost a commodity at this point. You're just looking for like a coupon code, or I would read the reviews though, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now, I will say, she's asking, I think they will need a stroller. Absolutely. Even kids that at home, you say, because I know like there's that stigma, like my kids, like I don't want people give me the stink eye because my kid's in a stroller and they're too old now. The thing is, at Walt Disney World, you are walking 10 miles a day.
Oh, gosh, yes. It hurts me. It hurts me.
And one thing we learned is, even like, because sometimes like when they're getting out of that age where they don't need a stroller too much, like what we would do is, and this is one of the hacks we always used, we would take the stroller into the Magic Kingdom and we'd park it right up by in Town Square. We'd park it right up by the theater, right at the front of the park. Right, there was like a little stroller for Tony's Town Square, so we'd park it there, and then we just go on our day. And the thing is, when Mallory needed the stroller, maybe 5 or 6 hours later, I just walk up there, grab the stroller, and we'd use it for the rest of the day. It was in the park. It was easy to get, but we didn't have to mess with it for like the first 4 or 5 hours, but it was there and it wasn't going to get shuffled around because it was a restaurant kind of out of the way. And hopefully nobody stole it. Nobody did steal it. We ended up giving the stroller away, but I mean, it was just a good place that, you could kind of stow it away, but you had it if you needed it. Some days we didn't use it at all. We could just grab it on the way out. You say, I remember you left it there right on the way out, but it was a nice cushion. So Scott, any other hacks like that?
Yeah, that's a great hack. And just bring the stroller. Even if like your child says like, I'm not going to need it. I'm going to be so fresh today. Like I'm going to walk with you all day. Like, no, they're going to need it. And I'll never forget, like I've seen parents sitting in strollers taking naps before. So like even a parent might even want to use it at one point.
I've seen teenagers out in those rentals, like the Disney rental, like big blue plastic ones. I've seen, New Year's Eve, I've seen parents passed out in them. Just saying.
So I will say that the Mouse for Less does recommend Kingdom strollers. So just kind of letting you know about that. That's kind of the recommended one from them. And then I did remember that Disney did make some changes as far as their stroller rental policy, the wheelchair and stroller rental policy that they had. Now, this was back in 2019, and I don't think it's changed since then. But they have announced that I think they said that Scooter Bug was their recommended stroller ECV rental place. So because they will allow them to actually deliver to luggage desks.
So, some of that could have changed, like in the new COVID world we're in. So,
exactly. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure how legit this is anymore with COVID. But I can tell you that absolutely the Mouse for Less does recommend Kingdom strollers. So
there you go. And so I love it. We have some alternative uses for your stroller. Michael Finkelstein says, then you can use that stroller for the candy haul at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I've seen there's a big basket under that stroller. We did that one year. And Joe Laszlo down in Georgia by Ricky, luggage cart for the hotel. Exactly.
I mean, totally. Just take that. Yeah, that's fine. Disney will have no problem with you taking their luggage carts as a stroller. Not a problem at all. Yeah.
I've gotten one of those on the bus before, and it was lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so let's get to the next question here, and we have so many. Lost it. Can you? This is from Felicia. Can you add a friend to my Disney experience so she can share my memory maker? Our trips overlap for a few days. So, I mean, that was a simple one. If you are linked via friends and family on Memory Maker, you will all have access to the Memory Maker, because I see every time Ricky goes down, I see her pictures. I could download them if I wanted to. When Scott's there, I see Scott's pictures. It's unbelievable, because we have lots of friends and families linked, and it's kind of nuts. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta share it, but I'm telling you, man, you see a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I try to make goofy photos all the time so that Mike can see it.
Exactly. Yes.
It becomes a game. Jessica's asking, wanted a table service dining reservation for Epcot, or recommended. Okay, table service dining reservation for Epcot this spring. She's looking for a recommendation. So somewhere to have a table service restaurant in Epcot. God, I love Beer Garden. I'm missing Beer Garden. I mean, I know it's communal. Some people hate that. I'm good, but the social distancing, right? Now's the time to go.
Now's the time to do a Beer Garden. Yeah, if you don't want to be around people, that's the great time to go. Yeah.
Good food. It's good for the dessert there.
Try it now. Yeah.
Well, do they still have the buffet though? I don't even. It's probably family style now, I guess. I haven't even thought about that.
That's one restaurant I haven't done since, I've tried a few of the former buffets that are now 3-course meals, but I haven't done Beer Garden yet, and I'm not entirely sure how they're doing it.
Oh man, now I have to lose sleep tonight.
I know. Sorry.
Right, Ricky, give a recommendation, Ricky. Throw something down for Epcot.
I am gonna go with Garden Grill. I love Garden Grill so much. I mean, seriously, whether it's breakfast or dinner, just the food is so phenomenal, and it's still a character meal, which is kind of nice. Now, granted, you have to take the selfies with the characters. They're kind of behind you, and you can take the picture that way, but I still think it's just a great meal. I leave there full every single time. I mean, stuffed full every single time. Plus, it's all you care to eat. So, I mean, who doesn't love that? So, I'm going Garden Grill.
Alfred says they bring the food to the table at Beer Garden. He was just
there we go.
I mean, you don't even have to take the extra steps.
Yeah.
Okay. Scott. Now Scott's going to say Monsieur Paul because he ate fancy when he was down a couple weeks ago. No, go ahead, Scott.
No, I am fancy. I was going to go signature. I'm going to go with our friends up north. I'm going with Le Cellier in Canada. I just love Le Cellier so much.
That's a good choice too. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with any of those. Oh man, sounds good. Let's see here. Next one, Joe's asking, is the pizza at the pizza window at the boardwalk good?
Just had it.
I can't remember. We did this years ago. I can't remember.
I did it twice. I did it recently, and I did it in 2020 as well. When we had like our 1 month stay in Florida, you had to like find some new options. So I ordered it for lunch one day. And previously, like I hated that pizza window. I thought it was absolutely terrible. But I don't know if it's because there was limited options or what. Like I thought it was really good. So I had to try it in our last trip when we stayed at the yacht club recently. We spent one night just hanging out at the pool, at the quiet pool. We were like, you know what, let's go get some, I'll go pick up a pizza. We'll play cards by the pool and stuff like that. And it was good again. So I'm giving it a thumbs up now because I've had 2 straight experiences where it was good.
It's also a sliding scale of how hungry you are, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But what was cool though, so you can order it on the app now. You can do mobile ordering, and you can do more customizations with toppings, which I love.
That might make it better because
I hate being at a window and be like, yeah, can I do this and that and this? But like when I'm doing it on an app, like I'm not talking to the person, so I'm going to add extra cheese, extra mushrooms, all that fun stuff.
I feel that way.
The burning question I got to ask Scott, because again, we talked about how we see all these commercials. I keep seeing the ad from Pizza Hut, and I love those retro ads. If I could just have one of those chandeliers and a Pac-Man machine and the red plastic cups, God, they need to bring back the old Pizza Hut, but that's beside the point. Detroit style pizza at Pizza Hut. I think you had it, right? I mean, is this a go-to?
No, so it was actually Joe who had it.
That's right. We were talking about it on Twitter, but I mean, is that a thing?
Like, Detroit style pizza is a thing. It's not quite like the casserole that Chicago style is, where they put like the sauce on top. So they still bake the pizza with the sauce on top. So it's like, so you got your crust and it's cheese and then it's sauce and then they bake it, but it's not like crazy like Chicago style. And I love it. I think it's so good. I love Detroit style pizza.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. I don't think I could get a pizza tonight if I tried. I don't think they'd be like, yeah, we're not coming to your house.
Yeah. And I am a pizza, like I'm obsessed with pizza, and like I'm very critical of like bad pizza, and like, so take it for whatever you will, but I think the Boardwalk pizza actually is pretty decent.
Wow.
There we go. Yes, there we go. Okay, we got to hustle. Ashley's got best 2 parks to visit with a 1-year-old. Obviously, Magic Kingdom
and Animal Kingdom, because of the animals. They're fun to look at.
Right. Yeah. And it's easy. Like, it's not Hollywood Studios is like an investment.
And there's not that much there's stuff for little ones, but I mean, that park is so filled with e-ticket heavy hitting attractions that little ones can't necessarily go on. So I think that Animal Kingdom is the right choice in this. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Kids love animals. That's totally, and there's a lot of good stuff.
There's all sorts of animal exhibits you can do. Absolutely. And then like throughout the park, like I think it's great.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to the last question of the day. We love all these questions in live chat. We just we got talking. That's what we do. Ashley's asking. I was just working with Ashley today. Trying to think through a Magic Kingdom plan for our trip. Since FastPass Plus isn't happening, would you still try to hit top attractions with low wait times first, even if this means zigzagging through the park, or would you plan to go land by land and enjoy them more completely? 2 kids, 4 and 6, 4 adults, and 2 full days at the Magic Kingdom are planned. Interesting question. Scott, what would you do?
We might have some different answers here. I'm more of a land by land person. Like, I do not like zigzagging. I don't know. And it could be because I go so often, right? So like, I'm okay, like waiting a little bit longer or not being upset if we don't hit every attraction in a day. But I like just sticking to one land, hitting everything we want to do. And then, I'm in Adventureland, then I'm going to move over to Frontierland, then I'm going to move over to Liberty Square. I just like going in that circle.
And this is a tough one though, because like with kids 4 and 6, they're so antsy, like waiting in line. Like, I don't mind waiting in line. Like my kids, even, my youngest now is 13. And she just, she's got a phone, so she's good, right? Even if we get in a long line, she doesn't complain as much as she did when she was 6, because she can just go on Instagram, and now she has social media. We could wait in a 10-hour line. She wouldn't care as long as her phone works. So, and again, when I went in August and December, like, it was so great to just go land by land. It was awesome. I loved it. Oh God, it was so great. But I mean, the thing is, do you want to sacrifice, like, if you're going through Tomorrowland first and then you get to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it's all of a sudden 90 minutes. But I don't think that's rare. That's rare. But again, during spring break, it could happen. I would prefer to do land by land, but again, I wouldn't want to get behind the 8 ball. I'd not, maybe kind of a blend, like maybe for the first couple hours, kind of go like crazy, and then like where you hit, then the rest of the day just kind of make your way around.
That could work.
That's probably what I'd do, kind of a hybrid. Ricky, what would you do?
I am a land by land person. I really don't like zigzagging also. And that's actually one of the reasons why I love that FastPass Plus isn't an option, because I really can do the land by land thing so much easier. And because there's no FastPass Plus, there is no like huge influx of wait time. So you don't see those swings that tend to happen. I mean, you may see it jump up for, 20, 30 minutes or where it's a little higher, but then it'll come right back down again. And that's the best part, because you can go do something else. And then once you're done doing whatever that is, then that has the lower weight, then the attraction that you wanted to do, that wait time should have come back down again to a more reasonable wait. So that's why I'm really loving not having FastPass Plus. It makes touring so much easier and not zigzagged. And I know everybody hates that I say don't bring back Fast Pass Plus, but really, seriously, please don't bring back Fast Pass Plus. Like it makes the park so much easier to enjoy, plain and simple. So.
And I didn't want to make this like a big Fast Pass Plus question, but I'm with you, Ricky. But like one thing I was thinking about though, the nice thing about Fast Pass Plus, it disperses everyone kind of evenly. Like everyone's got their Fast Passes for every attraction so it like disperses the people in the park. Because I ran into like where everyone is like an Adventureland all of a sudden. But there was Fast Passes, then they would be dispersed evenly. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm in the middle.
And that's why like maybe instead of starting with the two, the lands that are the easiest to get to, so like in the Magic Kingdom, Adventureland or Tomorrowland, you would go towards maybe Fantasyland first, or you would go towards Frontierland first. Hit up one of those lands first, so that way the people that are going to go, they're going to hit that first land that they go to, so they're going to hit Tomorrowland or Adventureland first, or in Hollywood Studios, they're going to go to Hollywood Boulevard first. No, Sunset. They're going to go to Sunset first, and they're going to go to Slinky Dog first. So go somewhere else that they're not going. That's kind of my theory on
Makes
that.
Sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of us because we haven't had a clear as mud answer in quite a while.
And we just did it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That was no use at all, but it was a great discussion.
No, it was not clear as mud. Fast Pass Plus needs to go away. That's basically what we've discovered. So yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely 100% wrong. Okay. Now needs to come back like my 3 guaranteed stuff, but we're not going to talk about that because we are out of time. But we are going to be back on Friday with more great discussion. We're going to talk about the little things at Walt Disney World that make Walt Disney World the experience that we go back for. We go back to ride Space Mountain. We go back to have dinner at Le Cellier, or to go to Beer Garden, or to, go to a park without Fast Pass, whatever it is. I mean, we go there for those kind of things. We're looking for the small things that, I'm missing Walt Disney World in this blizzard week, right? It's cold, it's miserable. And I'm thinking, I don't even need to ride Space Mountain. Like, one of the things I'm going to talk about, like, I could just hang out and just watch the train in Germany in Epcot right now. Like, I'd be good with that. Like, just park me by the trains. I could watch them, soak in some 82-degree weather, a little sun. My toes not burning because they're so cold. Just stuff like that. What makes Walt Disney World? We're going to talk about that on Friday. But don't forget, today's show, as always, brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. Big news happening this week down at Walt Disney World. So drop by the magicforless.com. Check out all the great specials with everything that is going on. And I'd absolutely love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World vacation, whenever it might be. Just go over to the Magic for Less, check out all the great specials and all that stuff. And while you're there, fill out that free, no obligation quote form and mention the Be Our Guest podcast. And if you do, it comes right to me. And we'll be planning a great trip together. We're going to get you down to Walt Disney World here soon. It just feels good to have a trip on the horizon and on the books. It just makes life a lot better, especially when there's a foot of snow on the ground and it's below zero. I'm telling you, it's science. Like, when it's the colder it gets, the more Disney vacation on the books is good for the soul. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. Thanks to everybody who does that. I don't say that often enough. If you click through that link, I appreciate it so much. It's a great free way to support the show. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. I forgot what it was there for a second because I have it bookmarked. And also, please use our Patreon link and get some extra content like Mike in the Midwest every Thursday. I kind of predicted this because last Thursday we talked about snow days.
Yeah.
My daughter hasn't been to school since. So I'm saying she had snow days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They were off Friday. President's Day was Monday. And who knows if at this point she's back to school, because we're supposed to get a new snowstorm today as this show comes out on Wednesday.
Oh my God.
We're supposed to get it again. So it's nuts. So yeah, who knows what we're talking about this Thursday, but it's always a lot of fun. So again, patreon.com. Thanks to our patrons, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Social media, Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. Of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook and YouTube, and you can join us as we record live. And again, this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Scott and Mike are on the air taking your calls. We'll talk about the news, and we'll just talk about anything you want to talk about for an hour. We're having a good time. Ricky, you can always join us whenever you want, but I know Sunday nights you're sometimes busy. I know.
I mean, I kind of, enjoy having date night with my husband, and usually Sunday nights are kind of date night. We hang out and watch Dateline on TV, which
that's exciting.
It sounds super old right now. I feel like I'm like 70, so it's fine.
Well, last weekend was Valentine's Day on Sunday night, and my wife, she's like, "Don't you have a podcast to go do?" So I mean,
she's like, "You can go do the podcast."
Yeah, it's like we're gonna go get barbecue. Like, come on. I mean, I'm trying to be romantic here. We're going to Hendrick. Anyway, all right, we're going to get out of here and we'll be back again on Friday. So until then, for hashtag Scotty G and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Some fancy Doritos.
Jeff, to answer your question, my fancy Doritos were delicious. So,
Mike, I got this Google Photos notification while we're recording. It's check out Scotty and Mike in quotes.
Oh my God.
What's that all about?
It must have made like an album of photos of you and me or a video or something.
That's not disturbing at all.
Yes, I got to see that. Share it with me.
I took a screenshot of the notification and I'll send it to you.
If you made a video of the two of you, you've got to send that to me. I swear I've got to see this.
Oh no, I think Apple Photos has made pictures of like us two together because so many pictures of us
Scotty
together.
And Mike.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a great picture. That was that princess that one year?
That video?
It's just a slideshow of photos.
Oh yeah, fishing. Yeah, with the captain. I don't have my captain's hat on.
Oh, and our koozies. Actually, hold on, wait. I don't know what. I should look through these first.
Oh, we're live there. Yeah, please. Happy Memorial Day weekend that one year. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Good.
That's funny. I got to see that. Okay, let's do the second one so I can try. We got to take bet. I know, like this could be a bet that is Mike going to make it to to Taco Bell tonight. Jennifer's down the street. Jennifer, what do you think? What are my chances A of making it to Taco Bell, 0.9 miles from the house, and B, what are the chances it's open? Because Dearborn Schnucks and Chick-fil-A are all closed. I know.
I just had to text Elizabeth like we're just about to start the second show. Like I got hungry people.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's go.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1852 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Hey, happy Friday, everybody. We made it. And apparently it's going to be a little bit warmer some places this weekend. I mean, warm is a relative term for a lot of us. I mean, but I did hear, pray tell, that we may get rain this weekend in St. Louis. Now that's, we record a little bit early, so who knows, but I did hear 40 degrees. So I am getting the Speedos ready to go. I mean, it's going to be hot.
No, that is
not Speedos, but I will get some shorts ready to go and for a run or something. I mean, 45 that's my hard rule. If it's 45 or warmer, I can run in shorts. Now, long sleeve shirts up top, but 45 is the shorts rule for me for run. So we're getting close to getting out of this blizzard that we've been in for the last couple of weeks in Missouri. So we will see how it goes. Maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel for the weather. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about these small things that make Walt Disney World awesome. We probably shoot past them. I probably do this every trip. But if you slow down, and especially when you're back home between trips, these are the things I say, man, next time when I get out of Missouri and get out of the snow, get out of the cold weather where it just hurts to be alive, I'm just going to spend some time looking and doing these kind of things. That's what we're going to talk about today. So joining me today from the mouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, what's going on?
Well, my eyes are burning thinking about you in a Speedo. So that thanks for ruining my weekend, Mike.
Wait.
No, that's not.
I mean, I have my Blues jersey on up top.
My weekend is ruined. So thank you for that. You're just the best friend I've ever had. Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's enough.
Well, so any big plans for Atlanta this weekend?
I don't actually think so. Which is I mean. Things could change, but I don't think we have any big plans this weekend. So that's good. I'm going to enjoy, my weekend doing nothing, which should be fantastic.
Get out of this house. Yeah. I got to get out of this house.
Sorry.
All right. Also joining us again, we have hashtag Scotty G. Check them out on Instagram at Palm Trees of Disney, which we really needed this week. What's up, Scott?
Hey, we're looking at 30-degree weather this weekend. So very excited about that. But I'm bummed that's only a 2-day weekend. I haven't had one of those in a while.
What kind of witchcraft is that? A 2-day weekend?
I don't know. It's unheard of around the Gardner household right now. So I might have to do something to change that.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. Okay, so let's hop into the show and get the weekend started here. We're going to be talking again about the small things of Disney. And I got to thinking about this when I was on the treadmill this week, and the snow was coming down outside, and it was actually just cold in the basement, like where my office is. Like the heater's actually having a hard time keeping up because the wind chill that day was like 19 below. I mean, it was just, the furnace ain't made for that. I mean, it's made to keep you warm, but I was just like, God, I wish I was in Florida right now. And if I was in Florida, what are the things I would do other than the standard things like ride Space Mountain, go on Test Track, all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking, one of the small things I'd love to be doing right now is just like standing in Germany and just like enjoying the weather on the World Showcase Promenade, but watching because I love trains, watching that train set. Because I've done this a couple times, but I'm always quick. Like I'll watch it, but I'm like, it's like in Vacation, like where Chevy Chase goes to the Grand Canyon and he's like, okay, let's go. You're there for like 10 seconds. So you can like check it off. I go, yep, saw the train. But like to sit there and just watch the trains for like 15 minutes with like a pretzel or some kind of a snack, especially now during were we in Flower and Garden yet?
No, this weekend is the last weekend for Festival Yards. Yeah, last weekend.
I can't remember what season we're in right now. It's too crazy. But yeah, I mean, just to have a good little snack and watch those little trains, because they are pretty remarkable if you watch them. Going through the tunnels. And here's because I did watch the trains last year when I was down, and I will say in August, and I will say, besides watching the trains in Germany, and this is one of those things that makes Disney cool, right? Because it's there, everybody goes past it, but when you stop to see it, it's pretty cool. Watch the kids and actually watch like senior citizen men that stop and their reactions to the train. There's something about old dudes and trains, and I love trains, so I'm an old dude. But I mean, it's like, not only watching the trains themselves, but watching the guest reactions to the trains. Some people, I mean, it's because they've never seen it before. Like I've seen it a bunch of times and just, I don't appreciate it, but I should. And a lot of folks, they really get into that. So Scott, because we're just going to go through our list, but Scott, do you ever take the time to look at the trains? Because I mean, you're younger than me. I'm an old dude like trains. So it kind of, fits into my like, my checklist, but what do you got?
I try to stop for the train. I think it's an awesome little feature there in Germany. What's kind of been cool, well, we had a cool moment where we were like the only ones in World Showcase this summer, like right when Epcot first opened. So we got to just spend some time being like the only ones around the train, which I thought was super cool because I feel like there's a lot of people that view it. So when you get a photo, you got other people in there, but we were actually able to take like a group photo like right in front of the train, which I thought was super cool. I'll have to send that to you.
That is. And so everybody on social media this week, let me know. Is there a thing with like old dudes and trains? I think there is. At least in Missouri, there is right where I live, but maybe it's not outside of our region. All right, Scott, give us what's one of the little things you enjoy down there that you probably pass up too much?
Well, so I kind of look this as like overlooked things in a way too. Like this might not be this definitely is not as little as the train set in Germany, but I think it's a very little thing that people just don't do enough often. We actually did it this summer, Mike, and that's like the seas, like looking at the aquarium, spending some time like looking at those animals in those fish tanks. I mean, it's big, they're fish tanks, but I think it's a nice thing that people just overlook. They get off Nemo and boom, they're gone. They're moving on to the next thing. But I love spending time in the aquarium, looking at the tanks, looking at the little seahorses. I think it's cute and it's a lot of fun.
And
the whole pavilion there real quick is just like, if you're kind of, and I'm a retro guy, like I listen to a lot of retro podcasts, 80s stuff, arcade games, video games, toys and movies and stuff. Like that is a time capsule, man. I mean, when you go in there, that is like going back to 80s Epcot. Just the aesthetic of the place. Okay, Ricky, sorry to cut you off.
No. I was going to say, for little ones, they still have, I believe, there's Dory's Scavenger Hunt. So it's a little booklet that you can pick up. I've picked it up when I've gotten off of the seas with Nemo and friends. And you can go around and look at, it'll help you kind of discover the fish that are in the pavilion. So again, it can be great for little kids, or it can be great for big kids like me who want to, go around and put stickers in my little book and say, I found this, type of fish, or I found this type of fish. So I think that that's great. And to piggyback along what Scott said, and one of the most entertaining things that I love getting to do while I'm in the seas is actually feeding time for the manatees. So if you've never been in there when it's feeding time for the manatees, I mean, it is just one of the coolest experiences. They just throw a bunch of lettuce into the tank and you just watch these giant sea cows, float through the water and chow down. And it's just such a cool experience to get to see that, and actually feeding time throughout the entire pavilion is really cool, but the manatees are always the one that I seem to catch the most. So it's a really cool experience to be able to do.
Two things about manatees. One, how do they get so big eating lettuce? Okay, seriously, come on now. And
it's valid.
Two, how could anybody really mistake them for mermaids? Like, I mean, seriously, you'd have to be out at sea a very long time.
Have you seen that episode of How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to watch the episode of How I Met Your Mother and you'll understand.
Okay. All right. So, Ricky, give us one of the small things that you enjoy.
So, again, kind of like what Scott was talking about, I was also thinking about, some of the things that people kind of miss. And one of the things that people, I think, walk past a lot, and especially because it doesn't happen all the time and it only happens at night, is actually over at the Tower of Terror. And yes, the Tower of Terror looks very cool, all lit up in its, ghostly purples and blues and things like that. But you really have to walk down to the entrance of the attraction in order to see this. And it's the sign for Tower of Terror. Now, during the day, it's just a regular sign. It says, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It looks like it's like, made of stone, that kind of thing.
It says Hollywood Tower Hotel, doesn't it?
Yeah, it might say yes, it does say Hollywood Tower Hotel. But at night, when, it starts to get dark, it lights up with the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And it's just this really cool effect that, kind of fades in and fades out. And, honestly, like if you didn't know it existed and you were just walking past there, you would go, wait, that said something else before, So it's just this really cool effect that I think most people don't know exists, it's that Disney magic that, they didn't have to put this in, but it just really pluses, it pluses the sign. I mean, for goodness sakes. So yeah.
Because it's one of those things like you just like, oh wait, did I see that? Now I got to give it some attention. Like everybody else is walking right past it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm in on this. Okay. I want to hit some of these real quick before I get my next one from the live chat. And I appreciate you guys being here. Alfred says, overlook the exhibit in the American Adventure. Yes. Exactly right. Like right now it goes with Soul to
the Soul Jazz one is awesome.
Actually, there's two exhibits in American Adventure right now. So you have the Soul exhibit, which is taking place in the main rotunda. And then there's the Native American exhibit that's in the actual gallery. Originally, I thought that Soul exhibit was going to take over the gallery, but apparently it didn't. So
I thought that too. They just kind of like tucked it into the rotunda, which I was kind of like disappointed at first, but then I was like, how are they going to do this? But actually it turned out really, really beautiful, I thought. And I love jazz music though. So like, of course I liked it.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that they ended up keeping both in a weird way. So you can learn from both of the things, which was really kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, jazz is the American, one of the only.
There's nothing more American to me than like jazz. Like it is.
Louis Armstrong all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Favorite song? What a wonderful world. Michael says he loves the early morning walk to get coffee at the resort and sitting on the balcony knowing a great day is ahead. That's an experience, but that is exactly, there's nothing like sunrise at the hotel. And I know, Ricky, this isn't your thing, but like,
what's sunrise?
No, but because the heat, like I always go running, for like, usually my run starts about 30 to 45 minutes before the sun comes up. So I can get a few miles in before it gets super hot. And then, at sunrise, it's not blazing hot. And just like being out there, like seeing sunrises, sometimes you see hot air balloons. Mm-hmm. There's like an energy as the resort comes to life in the morning. And here's the sad thing. You'll see the people, like the cast members going around hanging the magical, well, you won't see this after this year, but I guess that's a plus. But you see like person going around hanging the little, the little envelopes on the doors. At least, I'm always like, God, I'm glad it's not me. That'll be me in a few days, but not today, sucker. I'm staying. So, Scott, are you a big fan of the morning?
There's nothing better, in my opinion, than the early morning, like resort walks / runs. Like there's something about because it's so quiet and peaceful. Like, and you think like, oh my God, like in 2 hours from now, everyone's going to be storming to get breakfast or going to the buses. Like, and it's going to be really loud. I just love like how quiet it is. Especially like I just recently stayed around the Crescent Lake Resort. Like I walked around that every morning doing a few laps and it's just so peaceful. Nothing beats that to me.
And the pictures you got too, because I listen to some tech podcasts and they always have this one I listen to. They have a photography expert on every week, just giving random tips for amateurs. And he talks about the golden hour, and it's, that hour at sunrise, and it's better at sunset, but it's sunrise. You just get, especially in Florida, like Florida, just, man, those sunrises and sunsets, if you're from anywhere else, you're in the middle, like this, the sky is just like, you look at it and you're just like, this isn't even real. Right. It's great.
Then on a cold morning, it's interesting where you get like the steam, I call it like the smoke, but like the steam coming off the water is like such a cool experience.
That is
right. Okay, so Tim in our live chat, here's some of the ones he has. He loves the live musicians. Scott, I'm the same way. Ricky, myself. Dapper Dan's, Voices of Liberty, Main Street Philharmonic, Casey's Pianist, and more. That's exactly right. Okay, so my next one I was thinking of on the treadmill this morning, as I was trying to come up with a few in my head, was in again still in World Showcase at Epcot, but it's the Victoria Gardens in Canada. I mean, I bet you 90% of the people do not see this, right? Because I don't think that many people go to see the Canada movie, and fewer go to Le Cellier. I don't even know if they're doing the Epcot Kid Cot stops right now.
They are sort of, yeah. I mean,
probably that many people, like a percentage, probably maybe 5% of the guests actually do that, because probably many don't know, like many don't have kids, and many don't even know that it's available. But I mean, if you think about it, this is one of those things that makes Disney, right? That is not really an attraction. It's not really even a thing. But man, if you look at how beautiful that is any time of the year, it doesn't have to be during Flower and Garden. It's kind of like a mini Flower and Garden the entire season. It's just the colors, how it's tucked away. It's a great place to, if you just want to take some pictures with your phone, they pop. But I mean, I could imagine like that's a great backdrop for anybody wanting to take pictures at Walt Disney World. I mean, it's one of those things that every time I look at it, I'm almost like, it's so gorgeous. Like it doesn't even look real. It's so pretty. Like, I mean, it doesn't even look like it's alive. Like it has to be like that, it can't be real, but it is. And it's just out of the way. Nobody even knows it's there. So that's one of the things. All right, Scott. So what else you got?
Mike, this is not going to surprise you one bit. It's not palm trees, I swear. But I say about 90% of where you are at any given moment at Walt Disney World, there is a background loop playing. And sometimes you don't hear it. I mean, it's because it's there to be in the background, right? It's not in the forefront. It's not like the main thing, but like you could just be walking through your resort. You could be walking through a land, in an attraction, in a queue somewhere. There's always some type of background noise. And I just love them. I think they are so cool. They're craftily created to match the theme of whatever area you're in. And I could just sit on a bench and listen to background loops all day. I just love it.
Yeah, you and I talk about this all the time. I mean, we had Magical Mouse Radio, and of course, our biggest day of the week every day was we had Background Loop Tuesday for 24 hours, which is all about, no movie songs, no attraction audio. It was just background loops, and that, I mean, we had double the listeners every Tuesday, so super popular. But and you mentioned like you don't notice it sometimes, and I think that's the beauty of it, right? There's so many times where the background loop fits so well. It's almost kind of like productive, but like counterintuitive. You don't even almost know that it's there, but if you listen, it is, but it fits in so well, it just doesn't stick out at all. It's just like, it's a part of the like environment. It's like a chair in the lobby. Like it's just a part of the whole experience.
And there's so many good examples of that. Like one, I would say Ricky talked about earlier, Sunset Boulevard. Like, they're playing like that 30s big band music. You're looking at the Tower of Terror. You're looking at all the neon. And so the music might not be, the thing you're thinking about, but it fits in so well to the theme. Oh my gosh. And I think there's a background loop pretty much everywhere on property, except like if you're walking to your room, like in like some of the deluxe hotels, like in those hallways, there's not background loops, which kind of bugs me a little bit. Right. I feel like there's, but maybe like they're worried like it could feed into your room while you're trying to sleep or something. Like, I don't know.
No, you're exactly right. It is. It's almost like eerily quiet, especially like the boardwalk. Because like the boardwalk, it has me on edge a little bit anyway.
Or like at the Valley, like it's just anytime you're like walking to your room, and it kind of makes sense. You probably don't want music kind of playing around like your room, but
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like you're awake while you're sleeping or something like that. Yeah, I could see that. That's probably just one quiet. Yeah.
75% of the people listen to us as soon as we get in our room. We probably put on that PowerPoint, the WDW Today channel.
Me too. That's why it falls. So there's like a YouTube video of that, like, and it has like 100,000 views. I'm probably like 75,000 of them.
Dude, there's an app. I listen to the app.
I have it too.
Yeah, totally. WDW Today. All right, Ricky, what do you got? What's another small thing?
I love you guys so much. This is so awesome.
Geeks are us. That's
exactly. Geeks are us. Definitely. All right. So over at Epcot, something that a lot of people really literally walk through because they're not paying attention at the ground is the Inventor's Circle, which is in front of Mission Space. And it basically has these accomplishments that have happened in science throughout history, like, Sir Isaac Newton, Thomas Edison, and all that. And, it's this circular area that has all these. It's really interesting to read all these scientific breakthroughs that have happened through the course of history. And for you might learn something if you've got kids and you're looking for a way to bring in some sort of science into, everybody asks, how can I make this trip educational? Well, right here, this is a great way because, it allows your kids to learn kind of these breakthroughs and discovery, that they may not know about. So, I think that the Inventor Circle is just a fantastic thing that so many people literally walk over.
Yes. Walk right, not past, walk over. That's a good point. Now, is that not over on the way to Soarin', or was there two of them?
Yeah.
Is there one on like Innovations East and West? I know there was. Now it's kind of getting tore up though with the demolition. Last time I was there was some of them were still there, but I want to say some of them were part of the behind the wall.
Isn't it over by Mission Space?
No, I know they had them. Like as you went through that tunnel on the way to Soarin', there were the inventors right there as you came out of that tunnel before you got to Soarin'. Yeah, but I mean, maybe it was on both sides. Scott, do you know? Am I right? Is there not because I know they're over by Soarin'. They were.
I think they were over by Soarin', yeah, but I could be wrong too. Because I'll be honest, this is something I overlook all the time too.
Why do I think they were in Mission Space? I guess it just feels like it should be by Mission Space if they're not. So, well, then maybe it's not there anymore, and that makes me sad.
You know what? Because everybody has heard of Isaac Newton, right? But the thing I enjoyed, and when it was full scale, and for some reason I think some of them are missing at this point.
Okay, Teresa says it's by the land, so I'm What's over by Mission Space? I swear there's something over there too.
Teresa and I walk around in wildlife.
I mean, in the queue they have fake missions to
well, yeah, Mars I knew that. Yeah.
Well, no, in Mission Space though, on the exterior they had a lot of quotes by astronauts. Yeah. Because I got my picture by a quote by Gordo Cooper, one of my favorite astronauts, and by Krista McAuliffe, one of her quotes. So those are on the wall. They were at least when it opened.
Anyway. Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that it's at least still partially there over by the land because Teresa is confirming it. I am sad that I got it wrong and that it was on the land side of things at least and not on the Mission Space side. I swore it was over there.
Teresa did say, she's right here. She's down there all the time. Yes, part of it is behind the wall at this point. But the thing I enjoyed, because I always liked seeing this, great pick there, was that I like to find the more abstract scientists. Like there's a name there with a year. And I'm just like, well, what's that about? Because everybody knows Newton and stuff, right? But it was you find these people that made groundbreaking discoveries, but nobody knows about them. And I think that's kind of stuff that's Epcot.
Yes,
you actually do learn something there. Okay. And also Teresa mentions the Topier's Flower Garden. Exactly right. Do people fly past those things? You know how long it took to make that thing?
Right.
I don't know. I love a long time. Okay. One of the other things I was thinking of was not the windows of Main Street USA. While those are cool and we all flash past them, but everybody talks about those. How about the windows in the Emporium? That change seasonally. Sometimes they're they're almost like the old department store windows.
Yeah.
They have little moving, Belle and Beast will be just kind of spinning or something. I mean, they're not fabulous. And of course the Magic Kingdom has 8,000 things that are more fun to look at than these windows, but they are pretty cool. You can get a picture and maybe, each trip, take a picture of the windows and through the years, see how the windows have changed, and because a lot of times they'll have windows that go with the recent, movie that's out, like Mulan or, what have you, Soul or something like that. And so you can kind of, maybe they have masks on the characters in the windows. I don't know. That'd be something to do, because it marks that time and place of that trip. So I enjoy the Emporium windows. All right, Scott, what else you got?
I'm actually going to go to Disneyland because I know there's Disneyland fans that listen to the show as well. And I'm going with the most obscure and most awesome thing. I always get a photo with it, and it is the petrified tree.
The petrified. I knew as soon as you said it was obscure, I was like, that's got to be what he's going for. Yes, the petrified tree.
The petrified tree, I believe, it's kind of on the way to it's over by the water, the rivers of America. Yes. Yep. And it's just a funny story. Walt gifted the tree to Lillian, and
she said, "Get this stuff out of here.
Yeah,
she basically like did not want it. She was like, you know what? I think this would be great for your theme park, and made it like a donation to the park. And it sits there today. Like, and that's the great.
That's such a nice wife way of like smoothing that over, isn't it? Like, I think this would be really great in your theme park. Let's just move it over there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just love looking at just the history. And that's a great thing about Disneyland too. I mean, same with Walt Disney World too, but there's so much great history because Walt, walked in that park, and the petrified tree is just like one of the coolest things to me. And I think so many people just walk by and just don't even notice it's there. But I always stop to read about it and obviously take a selfie with it too.
I totally took a picture of that tree, by the way. Yes.
Never been to Disney. I still haven't been there. You guys have many times. But here's the thing. And then I try to kind of, like I listen to Wedway, and I mean, I know a little bit about Disneyland, obviously just from being in, listening to all the shows and stuff that I listen to. But I try not to do a whole lot of, research, because I still want it to be kind of fresh. Like I don't do the YouTube videos and stuff. Now, this tree, like, okay, so if I'm going there, is there a sign? I mean, is it stick out? I mean, would I know this is the pet? Because I've heard these stories, right? And I want to get my picture in front of it because it's epic. But like, I mean, you can't miss it, right?
It's not like a huge sign or anything, but like you walk up to it and it's going to have like a little plaque that like gives like it tells the story basically. Like this was donated in this year, and it has like, it tells like the background. But it's not going to be like jump in your face. But it's a pretty big size tree though. So
it is. I mean, it's kind of more like a stump.
And it's out of place.
It's totally out of place. Yeah. Yeah. Teresa just said the same thing I said. It's kind of like a stump. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a stump. Yeah. It's basically a petrified tree stump. Yes. That's exactly what it is.
It sounds good. This is a petrified tree.
I can't wait to take a selfie with you, Mike.
I'm dying to get back to Disneyland at this point. It's killing me. I want to take a picture of the tree.
So maybe some cast member right now, since the park's closed, is sitting on the stump.
Maybe. I'm gonna post a selfie of it to Instagram after the show is recorded.
Please do. All right, Ricky, what else? Give us another small thing that's special at Walt Disney World.
Well, okay, so another thing that a lot of people really just probably pass by is in the land. They have these gigantic like hot air balloons that are up at the top of the ceiling, and while you may notice the hot air balloons, what you may not notice is that there are 4 of them, and each one represents the 4 seasons. So, there's a spring, winter, fall, and summer one. What?
Look at you. That's smooth. That reminds me of the Mills Mall out in Hazelwood.
Yeah.
We might have to check our sources on this to see if she's right.
Yeah, make sure I'm right on this one. Yeah. I know the location on this one for sure. I got this one because I go there and I take a picture of the hot air balloons every single time. But it's just like this really cool little touch. And then, if in case you didn't know, each of the sections of the Sunshine Seasons dining area is a different season as well. So it all ties in together, which is kind of a little cool.
Is that still true? Like, are there still such? Because is it really? I mean, did they lose that over the years? No. I know the balloons used to move too back in the
balloons did used to move, yeah. But no, they're still, the sections are still winter, spring, summer, and fall. So you can.
I didn't realize that's what they represented. That's really cool.
Are you really?
Yeah, I mean, I knew about the hot air balloons, but I didn't know they had like a backstory to them, kind of.
Yeah, this is cool. Good. I'm glad I got something. Yeah, exactly.
All I know is I got the whoopie pie. That's all.
Soarin', the land is awesome, but whoopie pie, that's the only reason I go in there.
That's the reason to go.
Yeah, I usually get Chinese food there too sometimes.
There you go.
No, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't even know. I'll have to look. Like, how do you know what section's summer? Like what?
Okay. So it's a lot easier to tell the fall and the winter section. I think the section of summer has yellow seats to it, like yellow like seat backs. I think that's the one that's summer. In summer, the tabletops have suns on them though. So
I don't pay attention to anything. Like I shouldn't. I'm a terrible Disney fan.
Like the tables are themed.
Or about living with the land is where I always sit.
The tables are themed. The carpet is themed. Everything in that section is themed to whatever like season it is. Yeah,
I love it. Well, I'm gonna book a trip this weekend now. I just decided.
You can find out.
I just decided that's what we're doing this weekend.
There you go.
I prefer paprika for my season. There you go. Seasoning. Okay, one last one. This one's kind of big. We'll just do one more and then we'll get out of here so people get on for weekends. This one, I think a lot of people hustle past, and it's got a cool exterior. I mean, it's a restaurant, so it's not a small thing, but I think it really does show, and a lot of people don't experience this. I know it really does show what Walt Disney World's all about. And it's sci-fi dine-in at Hollywood Studios. I think a lot of people go past and they see like the car that you can get your picture in outside, the like the tables are inside, and you see the marquee of like an old drive-in theater with all the neon and the marquee and stuff. And I think it's cool looking, but I think when you go in there I would guess, well, I don't even know like how many people like sit down at restaurants on a typical park day, but so few people of the overall picture of people that travel into the studios actually go into sci-fi dine-in. And when you go in there, I know the food isn't great, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It's actually it's probably like 3/4 of the way there. It's a decent. If you get like burgers, fries, and a shake,
You're good there.
You still want to get like something fancy at a burger place, right? I mean, it's just that's how it is everywhere. But the thing is, like, the drive-ins are just they're a thing of the past, even though they've kind of come back a little bit during COVID. It's really what Disney does. It gives you're getting a meal, but more than a meal, you're getting an experience. Those trailers are fun. You get to see Walt in there. You get the beware of the blob and all the music, it's just the costumes, and it's dark, even though it could be noon outside and hot and it's all air conditioned. It's just, it's a great, experience that I think a lot of people overlook and just don't do. And I've only done like probably 3 or 4 times in my entire life, and I love it every time. Yeah. So sci-fi, Scott, do you go sci-fi dine-in very often?
Not at all, but we actually just went there recently.
I love it. We always go to 50s, even though I love I should go to sci-fi.
I'm always going to go to 50s over it, but it just, I got lucky one day on a recent trip and it popped up. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. It's been like 3 or 4 years since we've been here, and we had a great time. It was actually, I can't remember if it's always been like this, but it felt really quiet in there too. Like, I don't know if it's because of like the way the cars are set up, right? It's hard to converse.
It is super quiet. Well, I mean, you're at the movies, right? Silence is right,
which I loved, like it was a long day. We were all kind of tired. So it was like just nice to have the place all quiet and just watch the trailers. It was perfect.
That's a good point. You need a little quiet. You're overstimulated. Go in sci-fi. All right, Scott, last one. What you got?
I was just going to talk about it resort wide again, kind of like with my background loops, just hidden Mickeys. You walk past hundreds of hidden Mickeys probably, and you're not even aware of it. I mean, it's something you have to be really observant about, but I think it's just a great little touch that the Imagineers do, just plopping in hidden Mickeys all over the entire resort. Even, I mean, it could be at a resort, it could be at a theme park, it could be an attraction, anywhere. And I just love looking for hidden Mickeys.
Mm-hmm. And it's a conversation about them too, because sometimes you'll see like, oh, dude, some kid dropped their ketchup by the pool. Bam, that's a hidden Mickey because you're a pop star.
Dude, there's so many hidden Mickeys in this house that I live in.
Because then it's like, because that's totally us. Like, we'll go out, we'll come home, from the parks. All of us are hanging out together. We'll see like bird poop. Like, is that a hidden Mickey? No, it's just a bird. It had to go. It's so weird. And I mean, how many of us do that at home, right? I mean, like you mentioned, like in the snow. Like, no, just that was just where some branches fell in the snow. No, it's a hidden Mickey. No,
we leave the 3 of us, me, my wife, and daughter. We leave hidden Mickeys throughout the whole house for others to find all the time.
I like that. That's a great tradition.
That is. That's great. All right, Ricky, close us out. What's one small more thing that we overlook?
So again, looking at the pavement is something that is super important. And yes, I know that where this one is exactly as well. So I'm not wrong on this one either. If you look in Toy Story Land, if you look on the ground, on the pavement, there are these gigantic feet prints that have been imprinted there, and it is to represent Andy walking through the backyard. And it's such a cool thing that Disney decided, hey, they could have just done regular concrete to look, just like dirt, but to add in that added special effect of the fact that, no, we're going to make it look like Andy has been here and his gigantic footprint is here because you're a size of a toy. So it's just this huge, huge footprint. And because most people are walking on top of it, you really don't have the opportunity to see it very clearly. The real times that you're able to see it is usually at the beginning of the morning when the park isn't super, super busy, and the evening as well. But it's just, again, it's such a really cool thing that they've done is they've put in Andy's footprints as you walk along. which is quite cool.
Wait a second. Okay, so I was there for the media event for Toy Story Land opening. Okay, before it opened, like I was in there. Like,
rub it in, Mike. Rub it in.
I've never heard of this. Like,
wait, what?
The day before it opened, like we went to this big thing at the Grand Floridian. Like they talked to it, they did the Disney PowerPoint, and it was all, they told us about all the Slinky Dog and all the reimagining and the lights and the the Pixar ball. I don't think they said a word about that. This first I've ever
really. Wow, they're all over the park. I mean, they're all over the land.
Yeah, there's multiple shoe prints.
I think it's based on like if he was running. So like it's whatever his stride would be if he was running compared to how the land is. So it's so there's several of them. There's probably like 8 to 10, maybe even more. Like I don't know, but
you've never seen them?
There's only like 8 to 10 footprints in the whole land.
There might be more, but I mean, but they're giant though.
They're
so that's
gigantic.
Why, and I think it's based on his stride if he's running. So that's why there's not as many.
Yeah,
I could be wrong there though.
I mean, maybe, but yeah, there's definitely like shoe prints. You can see the one that I see and notice the most is right when you enter the land. Right after you get to like Woody welcoming you to the land, like I see that one the most, the easiest. Basically,
mine is over by Slinky Dog. Like I think there's one like right by the entrance of the line, basically, where they kind of hold you for COVID, where they kind of hold you in the spot and then they'll let you go. And then I think there's one right there. But I guess we got to get you about Disney World this weekend.
That is so weird. I mean, because honestly, that's why I love this kind of stuff, right? Because I haven't seen it. I was there. They were telling us there was people that designed the land there talking to us. Now, I will say they did give us free alcohol. So I'm just saying.
That might have something to do with it. Like
there was a good party that night. I mean, and it was all the foods that were happening.
Again, I feel like Mike is rubbing this in. I'm just saying.
I've never heard of that. Like something like that. Because I love Toy Story. It's my favorite Pixar movie. And but again, that's why I love what we get to do. We do, right? Because I've never seen it. No, that is on my list. I am so gonna get my picture. I'll have to lay on the pavement real quick and do a selfie by a footprint.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So see, I may not have known where the other thing was, but I at least knew that one.
Like, I mean, how big are they in the pavement? Are they like my foot size? Are they like a kid's foot size? Are they like, you say they're huge? I mean, are they like 2 feet wide or what?
They're like, I mean, feet long. I mean, like actual yards long. Like, I mean, they're
bigger than like a human foot.
Oh God, yes. Like they're like ridiculously large. Yeah, because you're the size of a toy. So I mean, I don't know how like exactly big they are, but like they're way, way bigger than you're expecting. Yeah.
Well, then if they did T-Rex's footprints, they'd be gigantic. No, because he's a toy. See, now I'm getting all kinds of confused with the scale.
No, I'm trying to find a picture, but of course, like all the ones I have are not good.
I know the Magical Less like shares it on their social media quite a bit, so you'll be able to find it on there.
It's probably exactly.
I'll send a text to Hannah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here while I go look for Giant Feet in Toy Story Land and have fun this weekend. But hey, we hope you enjoyed today's show. Give us your thoughts. What are some of the small things down at Walt Disney World that make it special for you? Give us let us know on Twitter and Instagram at BRGuestMike and at BRGuestPod, and give us a follow while you're over there as well. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. It's time to get that next trip on the books. I mean, we've been waiting, and now it is go time. This weekend to be a good time. Drop by the Magic for Less. Check out all the great specials, all the trip planning tools. While you're there, fill out that free, no obligation quote form. Mention the Be Our Guest podcast, and you and I are going to be planning a great trip here in the next year or two. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra. So please click through the link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Finally, if you'd like some extra content in your week, like Mike in the Midwest, just go over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast, become part of the crew. And I appreciate each and every one of our patrons so very much. You're carrying the show right now. And again, I can't thank you enough for that. Give us a follow and subscribe over on Instagram, not Instagram and Twitter, over at YouTube and Facebook. So, every time we go live, you can join us for all this fun chat and having a good time. Don't forget Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be live taking your calls and having a good time talking about the news. And you can even call in to tell me, Mike, how'd you miss those footprints? It's Andy.
I found the picture. I'm totally texting you, by the way.
Now, we'll be getting a lot of texts. So I'm sure you guys have been sending them as I'm doing. All right, we're going to get out of here.
I'm sending you petrified tree photos.
I'll be getting all kinds of texts here, I'm sure. All right. So you guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to listen to our show. I don't say that enough. I appreciate you guys just being a part of this fun ride. We have a good time talking Disney, and we couldn't do it without you. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay warm, and we'll see you real soon. Boom.
There.
Stop. Hang on.
I mean, I texted it to you too, so you can see it, but like, it's ginormous.
Well, he's looking at the text.
How do I miss that? Where is that?
I mean,
it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over. They're all over the place. Yeah. I literally saw that the first day that we were in Toy Story Land, because this picture's from June 30th of 1998, 2018. Why did I come up with 1998 on that? That was not even close.
So is it just an outline? Hang on.
I mean, it's his shoe print. Yeah.
Is it like recessed down into the ground?
Yeah.
Or no? It is?
Yeah. Like you can see the imprint of like where it's been pushed down on the ground a little bit more.
There's my petrified tree.
I love the petrified tree.
So funny. That is you don't miss that.
No.
What, the petrified tree?
Because it is kind of just like it's like out of place.
And like the verbiage is so great, and at the end it says presented to Disneyland by Mrs. Walt Disney, September 1957.
Yes. Just like get this out of my house. Yeah.
Yes, please take your little stump.
Oh yeah, it's totally in the middle of in the middle of it. Yeah.
But people walk by it though.
They do. You're right. I mean,
I think Pam is cooking dinner.
That makes sense.
Something good. Maybe she made enchiladas. I know we had this.
Yeah, I gotta go out for dinner.
Oh, good luck.
I think I'm going.
I'm good here.
I think I'm going to Dairy Queen.
And I can actually go to a restaurant now too. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, maybe I have to go out. We'll see. If I go out, I'll go live on Instagram so you can see.
I mean, I think Jennifer told you not to.
At least just go out to the driveway so we can see it.
I think she said she called Taco Bell and it was closed. Nobody answered.
Well, no, Pam called earlier and it was just an answering machine. So I kind of like I got a Jeep to drive in the snow. That's what I got it for. So,
so Mike, it's been nice knowing you. Scott, you want to join the podcast permanently? Because we're gonna need a new co-host. Yeah, exactly.
I think I need to go to Walt Disney World this weekend now. Just saying. I gotta eat at Sunshine Season.
I'm gonna eat in the summer. You remember the Mills though, Ricky?
Yes.
That food court was all the
Four
Seasons.
The whole mall was the Four Seasons.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole mall was the Four Seasons.
I've been at the Four Seasons to eat at the restaurant at Walt Disney World.
Look at Scott dropping down the fanciness right there.
One of the best dinners I ever had. I don't think they're open because I never see it like on the ADR list.
Maybe they're not.
Teresa would probably know because I know Teresa likes that spot too.
She's saying, "Come on down."
Come on down. All right, we guys go eat.
All right, see ya.
Thank you.